let's scooch forward a little bit and let's talk more about the hockey, talk more about what that team environment is like, and how you know, we've kind of already touched on it, but in this environment where you are now, you've presumably gone through lots of teams, bit of a connoisseur in teamwork, because it's something that you were drawn to and that you wanted to do. So I guess I'd just like to know when you're in a very elite team, like playing for Surbiton, what are the key differences in anything, the way we're interacting, how things work, to you know, a fully grassroots team and everything in between? What do you think are the difference makers in that top tier teamwork that, you know, you guys are obviously practicing day in, day out?
Yeah. So I definitely think so. I guess it kind of links a little bit to what we've spoken about, but at the grassroots level, you've got crucially important all the enjoyment pieces, and there's definitely elements. Well, there's 100% elements of teamwork in all of the grassroots elements, and as you go through the different stages, but there is definitely as you go through, to be honest. But there's a movement up, if you will, of, I would say, commitment or but desire to work for your teammates. Mm-hmm. So people now, and I'm going to come back to my age, which I don't know why I keep repeating this. I'm not that old, I promise. But like, so now I could not. So I have a job and I play hockey. And I could not commit for hours a week training and then Saturday matches, travel around the country on a Saturday and do whatever. You know, I'm not one of the girls at Surbiton that plays for Great Britain now. Like I don't, it's not my job. So this is, so sometimes people say, you know, you still commit quite a lot of hours. Why did you do that? Could you just miss a bit? Could you just not do as much training or not do so many matches? But I think the more elite you go up, the less you can do that. The more you have to work harder towards the shared goal, and the shared goal is intrinsically linked to the people. Again, different people in this team will have different goals. Some are to go to Olympic Games, some are to, I don't know, not have a family, but like everyone has a slightly different goal, because some people it's not their primary job. Yeah. But ultimately everyone is very clear on what they want their Surbiton goal to be, and that they would do and work incredibly hard for each other in order to achieve that goal. So the two are linked with regards to the team, your teammates working for each other and then working towards that shared goal. So I think it's more from the grassroots to the elite level. It always starts with enjoyment, and enjoyment needs to be there throughout the entire thing. But I think the continued drive towards a shared goal is probably, and people's willingness to commit to achieving that is probably the difference.
Yeah. And how do you, because it seems to me then, like on a sliding scale, as you intensify and you make your goals more difficult to achieve fundamentally as you go up the level, you would think that the enjoyment piece that we've been talking about today would go on a line like that, right? Which is the more professional we are, the less we're going to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Presumably you've got to keep enjoying it though at that top level. How is that just a culture thing? Is that just people's attitude, people what they bring to it, or do you have to kind of stay on top of let's just make sure that we're having fun while we're doing it, because we'll probably play better while we are?
Yeah, so I would agree with that, and I think the key is to understand individually, which is ironic but individually understand what people's enjoyment is. So within our team, we've got about 25 of our squad involved, so we're all working together but to understand that people have different enjoyment levels. So, we've got guys that are 18 doing A levels, and have the whole school thing with regards to all the different bits that school want every single piece of you. Everyone wants a piece of you at school. And then you've got people that are working in different kind of jobs, some that work much longer hours, some that work different types of hours, a whole range of things. And then you've got people that are getting married or potentially going to have children, and then you've got people also got people that are professional hockey players and trying to go to Olympic Games. So enjoyment could be, I'm just going to go and have a knockabout with my mates in the park kind of level. That's less likely to be at elite level, the sort of enjoyment that you still got. Most people now have probably reached a stage of enjoyment where it's a blend of, they enjoy playing the sport they've played their whole lives, they're reasonably good at it, and it's this piece probably one step beyond enjoyment, which is the passion thing. And then they love their mates. Well, maybe I'm also describing my thing as well, but these are girls that I've played with at different stages of my life career. For a good chunk of them are going to be my bridesmaids. I'm bridesmaid for a good chunk of them. So like that is the sort of level of friendship that you have. And then there's a passion in working hard towards a goal, something outside of your work that you do yourself, for your teammates. And so it's probably an enjoyment level that's just like that bit different, beyond just maybe like high level, oh, this is really fun. And then on top of that, winning is quite enjoyable.
Something we didn't really mention yet, right?
If you succeed with a team, and that's pretty a pretty easy thing to want again.
Okay, so
which is it's quite hard to describe that, but I remember our first like Premier League title, and then that's pretty.
Well, because Surbiton's really like a dynasty kind of club almost, isn't it? Like the way, or your team. I mean, what did you say? 7 years.
I think it. Well,
Emily knows.
Yeah. And it is. It's like 7 consecutive Premier League titles.
Yeah.
How many of those have you been involved with? How long have you been at Surbiton?
7 years.
You've done them all.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right. I know. I felt bad. I joined. So a few of the girls I went to uni with as well, and they got promoted the year before that into Prem.
Yeah.
And I was doing a master's in Bristol, so we left Birmingham, and so a couple of my mates had joined Surbiton in the year. So they had a promotion before that. So they literally got promoted to Premier League, and then were very successful. So it's been great. A great
really
like
it's a winning team as well. Like, it's pretty rare to get a winning, like a really consistent winning team. I mean, it reminds me and Tom went back in the day when we played rugby for an unbeaten team. We were like under 12s, under 13s. But I remember my dad saying, you should really like savor it, because it's really, really hard to do that. Like, you're probably not going to come into many teams where you win every game of a season, or where you consecutively win tournaments, or so.
Yeah, no, it's.
How do you take it further? Because